Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Lexus Faye Yoga and welcome to 2026. I am so very glad that you've decided to join me today as I have a fun full body flow planned for you. Now, if that sounds good to you, roll out to your mat, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Stay firm. Sending that right foot back. Now we'll start in our mountain pose, bringing the ankles underneath the knees, underneath the hips. We'll pick up the toes, spread them out nice and wide, and set them down, grip them into the earth like we're going to bunch the yoga mat up underneath of our feet. We'll pull the shoulders up to the ears before working them back and down the spine. Rotate the palms forward to help pull those shoulders back a little more. We'll tuck the hips forward and draw the chin in, stacking the body. And then we can close the eyes, or we can allow the vision to be soft, pressing into the feet to rise tall through the spine. And we'll take a big breath in through the nose and let it go as an open mouth sigh. I'll do two more. Big breath in through the nose. And an even bigger breath back out. One more time. Big breath in through the nose. Take a few more sips of air at the top. And a big breath back out. I'll start to roll the shoulders up and back. And then we'll reverse. Roll them back and up, forward and down. Now we'll bring the shoulders back to our neutral, drop them down the spine, away from the ears. And we'll reach our left arm up and we'll swing our right arm back behind the body. Then we'll reverse, reach the right arm up and the left arm back. We'll let the arms move in opposite directions, giving them a little bit of a sway. And again, we'll bring them back in towards center. Wiggle out a little bit more. Now we're going to do a breath of joy, breath work mini flow. So it is a 3-part breath where we'll be taking 3 sharp intakes of breath and 1 really big breath back out. We'll do full body movements along with it. So for our first breath, we're bending the knees and we're bringing the arms out in front of the body. With our second in-breath, we're sweeping them out to the sides, standing up tall. With our third in-breath, we'll reach up towards the sky, send the chest up. And with our big breath out, we'll bend at the arms, or bend at the waist and throw the arms forward and around. So we'll do it one more time slow. Inhale, arms forward. Inhale, arms to the side. Inhale, up to the sky. Exhale to swing the arms, fold forward. All right, now we're going to speed it up. We'll do 3 sharp intakes and 1 big breath out. Bending the knees. One more. Good. Wriggle out, sway the hips, reset, bounce around. And then with our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead. Exhale, we'll move to our cactus pose. Big space across the collarbones. So we're spreading the fingertips out wide and we're drawing the shoulder blades back and down the spine. With our next in-breath, we'll send the arms up to the sky. And with our exhale, we'll hinge at the waist and bow forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Reaching forward with the top of the head, pressing into the toes. Exhale, we'll fold forward. We'll take a little bit of time here in our forward fold to wiggle out in a way that feels good. Nodding the head, shaking the head no. We can grab for opposite elbows and find a sway side to side. Or we can pedal out the legs. Finding some way to play around with this pose in a way that feels good. And then with our next in-breath, again, we'll reach forward with the top of the head, moving our weight into our feet. Reach long and engage the core. Exhale to fold forward. We'll nod the head yes. Shake the head no. And find the same with the arms. Let them be loose down from the shoulders. We can wiggle them out like wet noodles. We'll add a little more of a bend to the knees. And we'll start to tuck the hips under. And we'll continue that rolling motion up the spine. Really slowly take your time. And then we'll lift the chin very last. We can lift the shoulders up and roll them back a few times as we make our way to the top of our mat. With a big breath in, we'll send the arms up overhead. Exhale to our cactus. We can have an optional baby back bend, or we can keep the chest forward. And then we can send the arms back up. Exhale, we'll swan dive the arms out to the side as we bow forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands down. We'll step, hop, or float our feet back to our plank pose. Spread the fingertips out nice and wide. We'll grip them into the earth. Now shifting a little further forward so that we can chaturanga lower down to our mat. Inhale to an up dog or a cobra. Exhale to soften. And if we're floating, we'll lower the rest of the way down. Pressing into the tops of the feet and into the hips. We'll send the hands forward and then out, diagonal from the top edges of our mat. With an in-breath, we'll tent up onto the fingertips and lift the upper body, pressing the lower into the floor. With our exhale, we'll soften forward again. We'll do two more. Inhale to lift the trunk. Reach long with the top of the head. Lift the chin slightly. Exhale to lower back down. One more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Good. We'll slide the hands in a little closer, but then we'll lift them up off the mat. So we're hovering the hands. We can lift our feet up as well if that's helpful, or we can press them into the earth. But we'll do that one more time, no hands. Inhale to lift the upper body. Maybe lift the feet, maybe not. And with our exhale, we'll lower back down. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under. We'll press the hips up and back for our down dog. Wiggle it out, paddle the legs, swivel the hips. And then we'll send our left leg up and back behind. Circle the ankle out in one direction, then around in the other. We'll bend at the knee and then drag our knee up towards our nose, rounding and rolling through the spine as we shift forward and set the left foot down at the top of our mat. Pressing evenly into each foot. We'll take a big breath in to reach the eyes and the chest forward. And a big breath out to soften the hips. Pressing into the floor. With our next in-breath, we'll sweep the arms up overhead for our crescent lunge. Big bend into the front leg, little bend into the back. Reach tall with the arms and the top of the head. Now we'll lengthen out through our left leg and pivot our back heel so we can drop the right heel on the mat. Now turning the hips back up towards the top of our mat. With our exhale, we'll continue to reach long with the fingertips as we slowly hinge, reach the arms out in front of the body, and then soften towards our left leg. We can bring the hands to the left leg or to the floor, wherever else they want to land. You can wiggle out the hips a little bit. And then we can add the bend back into our left. Lift the right heel so we're back around to our runner's lunge. We'll plant the right hand down beside the left foot and reach the left hand up for a gentle twist. Now pivot the back foot around again so the outside or pinky side edge of our right foot is down. We'll lower our right hip and reach the left hand towards the back of the mat. Inhale to lift the hips, reach the left arm back up. We'll do 2 more. Exhale to sweep the left hand down. Inhale to lift the hips. 1 more time. Lower the hip down, reach the left hand back. Inhale to lift back up. We'll pivot around to frame out the front foot with the hands, finding a forward and back shifting motion. We'll lift our right leg up off the mat, reach it back behind. Point with the toes. We can keep our fingertips down as our kickstands, or we can start to float into a warrior 3. Reaching the arms up and back, pull the shoulder blades in together, and reach towards the back of the mat with the hands. We'll turn the hips so they're parallel to the floor. And we're reaching long with our right leg. With our in-breath, we'll start to shift tall again and set our right leg down, wiggle out. With an in-breath, we'll sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale to our cactus. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step, hop, or float the feet back. Plank pose. We'll shift a little further forward. Exhale, chaturanga all the way down to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to soften. We'll do our no-handed cobra again. Inhale to lift the trunk. Exhale to lower. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, send the hips up, and back down dog. We'll wiggle out some more. And then we'll send our right leg up overhead. Circle the ankle out in one direction and around in the other. We'll draw knee to nose as we round through the spine and shift forward. Stepping the right foot down at the top of the mat. Full breath in. Reach the chest and the eyes towards the top of the mat. Even bigger breath back out as we soften the hips towards the floor. Pressing down into both feet. With our in-breath, we'll lift up into our crescent lunge, Arms go up overhead. Big bend in the right knee, little bend in the left. Now we'll lengthen out through the right leg and turn the left heel down towards the mat. We'll bring the chest around towards the top of our mat again, reaching tall with our fingertips. We'll start to hinge. Reach the arms out in front of the body. And then we'll soften towards our right leg. Again, hands can land on the right leg. They can drop down to the floor, wherever they want to land. Good, we'll add the bend back into our front right leg. Bring the hands down on either side. We'll plant the left hand and reach the right hand up towards the sky. Gentle twist. And then we'll pivot the foot around a little bit further, landing on the pinky side edge of the foot as we lower the left hip and sweep the right hand up and over the body towards the back of the mat. Inhale to lift the hips. Exhale to dip the hips. Inhale to reach up. One more time. Lower the left hip down towards the mat. Reach the hand back. Inhale up and over. We'll sweep it around to frame out our right foot. Finding a forward and back shifting motion until we can pop our left foot up off the mat. Again, we can place our fingertips down on the floor, use them as our kickstands, or we can start to float up to our warrior three, reaching back with our left toes, pulling the shoulder blades in together at the spine, reaching the hands back. With our in-breath, we'll start to lift back up and set our left foot down. Wiggle out some more, reset. And back to the top of the mat we go. With an in-breath, we'll take the arms up overhead. Exhale to our cactus, optional back bend. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale, sweep the arms, bow the chest. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands, step, hop, or float back. Plank pose, shift forward, chaturanga to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, soften. Inhale to our no hands cobra or our lotus pose. Exhale to soften. Press into the hands, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Down dog, pedal it out. And we'll send our left leg up and back. Bend at the knee. We'll draw knee into nose, round and roll through the spine as we shift forward. And step the left foot through. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out. Pressing into the feet. Inhale to our crescent lunge. Exhale to our pyramid pose. Sweep the arms forward as we bow. Now we'll place our left hand down on our left leg, wherever it wants to land. And we'll drop our right arm straight down beside the left hand from the shoulder. With an in-breath, we'll sweep our right hand out towards our right side and then up towards the sky, gently pulling back on our right shoulder as we use our left hand to leverage us open to our right side for a triangle pose. With an inhale, we'll float the upper body back up. And then we'll bend into our left leg, finding our warrior two. Now connecting our left elbow, left knee. We'll sweep our right arm up and over towards the top of our mat, bringing it alongside our ear. And we can stay here, or we could start to lower our left hand down to the floor and reach the right arm up. Whichever variation is calling your name. We'll rainbow our arms up and over the body and come back to our neutral warrior two. Take a few deep breaths here, pressing to the pinky side edge of your feet. Tuck your hips forward. And then we'll again lengthen long through our left leg. We'll turn our left palm up towards the sky, and we'll start to wrap our right arm around towards our left hip as we send our left hand up and over the body towards the back of the mat. Another next in-breath, we'll float back up and over to our warrior two again. Now our back hand, our right hand, will swoop down towards the floor, planting itself beside the left foot. Reach the left hand up tall, and we'll pivot onto our right foot so that we can drop the right hip and reach the left hand back. Inhale to lift the hips. Exhale to lower. We'll do one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We'll circle the arms up overhead, around, frame out the front foot. Find a forward and back shifting motion to pop us up into our warrior three. Airplaning the arms if we can, or keeping them down to help with balance. Reaching back with the right toes. Now we'll start to bend at the right knee. As we lift the upper body towards standing, we'll bring the right knee up in front of the body. Reach that right knee as tall as we can. And then we'll drop it down and we'll wiggle out and reset. And then we'll make our way back to the top of the mat. With a big breath in, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale to our cactus, optional back bend. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale, sweep the arms forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step, hop, or float back. Chaturanga to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, soften. Inhale to float the hands. Exhale, soften. Replant the hands, tuck the toes under. We'll shift the hips up and back. Down dog. Wiggle out, reset, pedal out the legs, swivel out the hips. And then we'll send our right leg up and back behind. Bend at the knee, draw knees to nose. Round as we roll. Step the right foot down. Full breath in. Even bigger breath back out. Inhale to our crescent lunge. Exhale to our pyramid pose. Take a moment. We'll plant our right hand on our right leg. And then inhale, our left arm out to the side as we open the chest towards our left for our triangle pose. Using wherever our right hand is to help us leverage the shoulders, leverage the chest open a little bit further. And then we'll start to float the upper body up, reaching the arms forward and back, and then bending into our right leg for our warrior two. Now connecting our right elbow with our right knee. We'll sweep our left arm up and over, keeping it close to the ear for our extended side angle. Or we can start to lower our right hand towards the mat and stack the shoulders again. With our next inhale, we'll rainbow the arms up and over back to our warrior two. And we'll take a little bit of time here, pressing into the pinky side edge of both feet. So we're rolling the hips open, pressing back through our right knee, tucking the hips forward so we can reach tall with the head. And then we'll lengthen the right leg towards straight. Sweep the left hand around to the right hip. Turn the right palm up towards the sky. And then we'll reach up and over the body for our reverse triangle pose. With our next inhale, we'll lift back up, bend into the right, warrior two. And then we'll sweep the left hand down towards the floor, plant it beside the right, come up onto the toes, gentle twist. And then we'll lower the left hip down towards the mat, rolling the left foot to the pinky side edge. Inhale to lift the hips. Exhale to lower the hips. One more time. Lift. Exhale to lower. We'll sweep the right hand up and around, frame out the right foot, forward and back, rocking motion to give us the momentum to pop our right leg up. Again, we can lift into our warrior three, sweep the arms, pull shoulder blades in together, press back through the left toes. And then we'll start to bend at the left knee as we lift back up towards standing. Reach the left knee up as tall as we can in front of the chest. And then we'll drop it down and we'll wiggle out some more. Reset. Inhale to send the arms up overhead. Exhale to our cactus. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale to hinge and bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step, hop, or float back to our plank. We'll shift a little further forward. And this time make this chaturanga the slowest one we've done all day. Pull the elbows in towards the rib cage, lower incrementally until we bring the chest all the way down. Send the hands forward and out towards the top edges of our mat. Inhale, press into the hands. Exhale to lower. I'll do 2 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. 1 more. Inhale to lift the trunk. Lift the chest, lift the chin slightly, and lower back down. Slide the hands in, and we'll again do our no hand cobra pose or our lotus pose by also floating the feet. Inhale to lift up, squeeze the glutes. And an exhale to bring us back down. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, up and back to our down dog we go. Wiggle it out. And then we'll slide our hands about a hand's distance closer towards our feet. Put a little more bend to the knees. And then we'll send the hips up and back behind, and then maybe press the legs a little more towards straight. Then we'll start to shift forward again, moving to our floating tabletop. So we'll bring the shoulders over the wrists. We'll bend the knees, coming up onto our tippy toes to float the knees over the mat, flattening out the back. We'll hold for a few breaths, pulling the core in towards the rib cage, and up towards the spine. And we'll lower the knees the rest of the way down to our mat. Untuck the toes. Inhale, shine the chest forward, turn the hips up, lower the abdomen. Exhale to round the spine. Pressing the hands into the earth, bring chin to chest, tailbone under. And we'll move back and forth with our cat-cows. And we'll come back to our tabletop, our neutral tabletop. And walk the knees towards the outer edges of our mat. Bring the big toes into point or to touch. And we'll scooch our left hand in a little closer. With our inhale, we'll send our right arm up towards the sky. With our exhale, we'll reach it through our left side, bring the shoulder down. Inhale to untwist, send the right hand up. Exhale to reach it through. Bring the shoulder down slightly. We'll do 2 more. Inhale to reach the right hand back up. Exhale to thread. Inhale to send it up. Exhale to thread it through. This time we'll lower all the way down, reaching as far to the left as we can before we bring the shoulder and side of face to the mat. We can gently press into the left hand to help twist us open a little further, or wrap our left hand around to the small of the back. Press into the left hand. Unthreading the right one more time. We'll send it up towards the sky. And then bring it down. I'll take a full in and out breath cycle to reset. As we press into the right hand, with an in-breath, we'll send our left hand up towards the sky. Exhale, we'll thread it through. Lower the shoulder slightly. Inhale to send it up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale to reach it back up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, reach it back up. We'll do 2 more. Exhale to thread. Inhale to lengthen. And this time, we'll thread it all the way to the right side as far as we can reach before we bring the shoulder and side of face down. Pressing gently into the right hand to help open our twist just a little bit further. And again, we'll press into the right hand to help us unthread the left. Reach the left up tall. And bring it back down. Plant the hands underneath of the shoulders. Walk the knees back in underneath of the hips. We'll tuck the toes under. Press the hands into the earth and we'll float the knees up off the mat again. We'll take a few more deep breaths here. And drop the knees the rest of the way down. We'll make our way around to a seated position. And scoot towards the center of our mats. We'll give the legs a nice bouncing out once we get there. And then we'll reach the toes up towards the sky. Now shifting forwards, we're sitting up nice and tall. We're almost reaching forward with our chest. And we'll send the arms up towards the sky. If your arms are talking to you, drop your hands to your shoulders. They'll still reach tall with the top of the head. Sit up nice and straight. I'll take a few deep breaths here. At the end of each exhale, we'll recheck our posture. Pressing the chest forward. Reaching tall with the arms and the top of the head. Drawing the arms back. And with an exhale, sweep the arms down and around. Plant them behind the body with the fingertips pointed away. We can soften out the legs as we start to walk the hands a little further away from the body. And then we'll find a nice big chest opener with our in-breath. We'll lift the chest, lift the eyes, and we'll pull the shoulder blades in together at the spine, shifting the chest a little further forward. We'll take a few more deep breaths here. With our exhale, we'll round the shoulders forward, soften the abdomen to help us walk back up out of this pose. We'll bend at the knees and walk the knees in close. We'll bend the legs at the knees and we'll walk the feet in for a butterfly pose. Wrap the hands around the bottoms of the feet. Bring the soles of the feet together. We'll gently press the chest forward as we send the knees down to the mat. We can give a slight flutter of the legs or a little sway side to side. And we'll sit up nice and tall with another big breath in. And with our exhale, maybe we'll shift a little bit further forward, bringing the chest a little closer towards the feet. And then again, with a big breath in, we'll sit up again. We'll bring the knees in together and the arms alongside the legs. We'll start to tip back and move to our boat pose. We can keep our big toes down as our kickstands. We can bring our shins parallel to the earth, or we can extend the legs fully long. But we'll reach back with the top of the head, continuing to breathe through this pose. We'll shift a little further out and a little further out, reaching the legs long, and then we'll lower the rest of the way down, sweep the arms up overhead, full body stretch, point and reach with the toes. We'll send the hands out long. And then we can circle the arms around and bring the arms towards the body as we start to walk the bottoms of the feet in and then out towards the outer edges of the mat. Make sure your low back is down to the floor by lifting the hips, tucking them forward and setting them down. And then we'll start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. I'll take the knees back up towards the ceiling, and then we'll bring the knees into the chest, rolling into a nice tight ball, tucking chin to chest. You can find a little rolling side to side. And we'll keep our left knee where it is, but we'll send our right foot up towards the sky like we're stepping on the ceiling. Now we can keep the head lifted, or we can drop the back of the head down to the mat. We'll slowly start to lower our right leg all the way down to the mat in front of us. And then we'll guide that left knee across the right side of our body for a gentle twist. Extending the left arm out from the shoulder, we can follow the hand with the eyes, or we can reach the eyes up towards the sky. We'll untwist and bring the left knee back in for another big squeeze as we bring the right knee up, wrapping the arms around both legs, and we can find another rocking side to side. This time we'll hold our right leg where it is as we reach the left leg up. And again, real slow, we'll start to drift our left leg down to the mat in front of us. And then we can guide that right knee across our left side and find a gentle twist. Reach the right arm out from the shoulder. We can turn to look at the right hand. Untwisting, we'll pull our right knee back in. For another big squeeze, pull the left leg back in, hug both in. And then we'll reach them both up towards the sky. Plant the hands down beside the hips. Feet are up. Plant the hands down beside the hips, palms down. And we'll lower both legs at the same time, nice and slow. And once they are down, we can close the eyes and take a few deep breaths in and back out as we move around, find a comfortable place for our Savasana, a comfortable place to take a few moments rest. Closing the eyes if we haven't yet, we're allowing the vision to be soft. We'll let the legs be heavy and the feet fall away from each other. We'll let the shoulders droop down to the earth, the arms be heavy. We'll allow our mats to cradle our bodies as we slow or still our movements. Come back to our breath, allowing our breathing to deepen a little more than normal. Allowing our breath to carry throughout our whole body, taking that breath down low into the abdomen before we press the breath back out again. Let the exhales to lengthen. And with each new exhale, we'll allow the body to soften further. Allow the mind to be quiet for a little while. Focus just on the feeling, fully letting go of the breath. That moment of stillness, of quiet in the body, of relaxation. Restart fresh with a new breath in, and repeat that process over again. Start to bring another large breath in through the nose. And let it go as an open mouth sigh. We're going to start to invite some movement back into the body. By tapping our fingertips across our thumb or wiggling our toes. And then when you are feeling ready, go ahead and roll to one side or the other. We'll take our moment of gratitude here. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today, for taking this time out of your day to be fully present in your body, to breathe deeply, to move with strength and grace, and to allow yourself this time of peace and quiet. Give yourself a nice big mental or physical hug. And then again, when you are feeling ready, you can sit up in a comfortable seat. We can either place our hands palms up on our knees or bring our hands to heart center together. But we'll take another large breath in through the nose and let it go as an open mouth sigh. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy. Thank you.